Imagine walking into a room and sensing an unexpected tension, or gravitating towards someone because their presence feels warm and inviting. These unspoken signals are the essence of body language, a powerful form of communication that often speaks louder than words. Understanding these signals is not just about interpreting gestures, it's about connecting on a deeper level. Body language encompasses all the nonverbal signals we use to communicate. These signals include facial expressions, posture, gestures, and even the way we use space between ourselves and others. According to a study conducted by psychologist Albert Mehrabian, 93% of communication is nonverbal. That's right, 7% of our communication is verbal, while 38% comes from tone of voice, and a staggering 55% from body language. Consider this: when someone says they are happy, their words may convey positivity. But can their body language enhance or contradict this message? If their arms are crossed and their posture is closed, you might question the sincerity of their happiness. This is where the power of observation comes into play, allowing you to decode the true feelings behind the words spoken. Let's dive into some of the foundational elements of body language. First, we must discuss facial expressions. The human face has over 40 muscles that can create thousands of different expressions. A smile, for instance, can be genuine or polite. A real smile, or a Duchenne smile, engages the muscles around the eyes, signaling true happiness. In contrast, a tight-lipped smile often indicates discomfort or forced politeness. Next is posture. How someone stands or sits can reveal their confidence level, openness, or defensiveness. An open posture, where someone stands or sits upright with arms uncrossed, suggests receptiveness. If someone leans towards you while you're speaking, it usually indicates interest. Conversely, crossed arms or legs can signal discomfort, defensiveness, or even a desire to withdraw from the conversation. Now, let's explore gestures. These can range from large, expressive movements to subtle, unconscious ones. For example, if someone is animated while discussing a topic, they might be genuinely excited or passionate about it. But beware of the pacifying gestures, like touching the neck or fidgeting. These can reveal anxiety or discomfort, even if their words suggest calmness. Lastly, let's touch on the concept of proxemics, the use of personal space. Different cultures have varying norms about how close people should stand when conversing. In Western cultures, an arm's length is often comfortable, while in some Mediterranean countries, people stand much closer. Invading personal space can be seen as a challenge or aggression, while maintaining an appropriate distance shows respect and understanding of boundaries. Understanding these basic elements of body language empowers you to more effectively read others and, in turn, communicate your own feelings more clearly. Imagine sitting across from someone during a job interview. Their body language can reveal confidence or uncertainty, which could influence the decision-makers in the room. Thus, harnessing the power of body language not only improves interpersonal relationships but also enhances professional interactions. So, next time you engage in conversation, pay attention not only to the words but also to the body language that accompanies them. It might just change the way you perceive communication forever. But what if you could take this knowledge further? What if you could delve deeper into the nuances of body language and learn how cultural differences shape nonverbal communication? It's often said that the eyes are the windows to the soul. When it comes to understanding human emotions, facial expressions are your best guide. Research led by psychologist Paul Ekman identified 6 basic emotions: anger, disgust, fear, joy, sadness, and surprise, that are universally recognized across cultures. This innate ability to read emotions on faces is a fundamental aspect of human communication. Imagine you are in a conversation with a friend who is telling you about a tough day. They might say they're fine, but their furrowed brow and downturned mouth tell a different story. These microexpressions can occur in a fraction of a second, often revealing feelings that the person is trying to hide. One study found that microexpressions can appear as quickly as 1/25th of a second, making it vital for astute observers to be vigilant for these fleeting signals. Ekman's research extended far beyond just listing these facial expressions. He developed the Facial Action Coding System, FACS, which categorizes every conceivable facial expression based on muscle movements. FACS employs a detailed coding system that allows researchers and practitioners to interpret facial expressions effectively. For instance, raised eyebrows often indicate surprise or curiosity, while a furrowed brow can indicate confusion or concern. Consider a young child who has just been scolded. Their immediate reaction may be a glimmer of fear, quickly masked by a smile as they try to avoid further confrontation. By observing their face, you can discern that although they appear cheerful, they are experiencing significant emotional turmoil. Understanding this can aid in offering the right kind of support. Taking it a step further, let's examine the cultural context of facial expressions. While basic emotions are universally recognized, the display of these emotions varies across cultures. For example, in some Asian cultures, expressing emotions openly may be frowned upon, leading individuals to suppress visible cues. This dichotomy can lead to misunderstandings when interacting with someone from a different cultural background. Research has shown that people in collectivist cultures, like Japan or China, might mask their true feelings to maintain harmony within a group, while those from individualist cultures, like the United States, may be more inclined to show their emotions openly. That self-control of facial expressions can create barriers in communication that are often overlooked. So, how can you apply this understanding of facial expressions in your daily life? One approach is to practice being an active observer. Try to notice not just what people are saying, but how they are saying it. Watch their faces closely during conversations. By doing this, you're not only paying attention to the message but also tuning into the emotional undercurrents that often run deeper. For instance, during a workplace discussion, if a colleague seems disengaged, such as by lack of eye contact or frowning, addressing their feelings openly could allow for a more productive dialogue. This ability to navigate emotional landscapes can enhance teamwork and collaboration, creating a more supportive environment. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, remember this: the face is a powerful tool for communication. It can illuminate what's hidden beneath the surface, revealing the joy, fear, or sadness that words may fail to express. But what if we expanded our view beyond just faces and explored how our entire body communicates emotions? Could this lead to truly understanding someone on a whole new level? Posture is the way we carry ourselves, and it speaks volumes about our confidence, openness, and even our mood. A person's stance can reveal their emotional state before they even utter a single word. Understanding posture allows us to read subtle cues and adjust our own body language accordingly. Consider a scenario: you enter a conference room filled with potential clients. You notice one person who is leaning back, arms crossed, and legs positioned away from the group. This nonchalant posture may suggest disinterest or defensiveness, while another person is leaning forward, eyes wide and hands open, indicating eagerness and engagement. Recognizing these differences can shape how you approach and address each individual, ultimately enhancing communication. Research led by Harvard professor Amy Cuddy reveals how power posing can have a psychological impact on individuals. Cuddy's studies indicate that adopting expansive postures can actually increase levels of testosterone, the dominance hormone, while decreasing cortisol, the stress hormone, leading to higher confidence levels and better performance in stressful situations like job interviews. Imagine walking into an interview room, where your posture is upwards and open. You're less likely to feel nervous and more likely to exude confidence, which can influence the interviewer's perception. But what happens when we slouch or close up? This type of posture can send signals of insecurity or disengagement. Recognizing your own posture can allow you to adjust it actively, enhancing your presence and ensuring people connect with your message. Moreover, posture often reveals our relationship with the person we're interacting with. For example, if two people are standing close with their bodies angled toward one another, it can signify intimacy or a strong connection. On the other hand, if someone is positioned with their side facing you, it may indicate discomfort or a lack of openness. Cultural context again plays a significant role in posture. In some cultures, leaning forward suggests interest, while in others, it might seem intrusive. Understanding these differences is crucial for effective communication, especially in our increasingly globalized world. For example, a person from a culture where personal space is highly respected may feel uncomfortable if you lean in too close. Awareness of these subtle distinctions can foster deeper connections and prevent misunderstandings. A helpful exercise to understand and improve your awareness of posture is to practice effective mirroring. This means subtly mimicking the posture of the person you're speaking with. This technique can enhance rapport and create a sense of comfort in conversations. Just make sure to engage in this practice subtly. You want to connect, not make it obvious. Moreover, reflecting on your own posture throughout the day can be a valuable self-improvement tool. Set reminders to check your posture, whether sitting or standing. A more open posture can help you feel more confident, which starts to reflect in your interactions with others. A simple change, like sitting with a straight back instead of slouched, can boost your confidence and encourage more positive exchanges. In short, mastering the art of reading posture is imperative. It can transform not only your perception of others but also how others perceive you. But what if you could dive deeper into the specific gestures we use daily and what they really signify? Could the world of hand signals, nods, and other forms of gesture provide further insights into our emotions and intent? Gestures are an integral part of our communication toolkit. From waving hello to showing someone a direction, gestures can enhance our spoken language or stand alone as meaningful signals. Understanding the types of gestures we use can greatly enhance your ability to connect with others. There are two main types of gestures: emblems and illustrators. Emblems are gestures that have a specific meanings, like a thumbs up for approval or a wave for greeting. These are culturally specific. In some cultures, a thumbs up can be a positive sign, while in others it might be rude. On the other hand, illustrators are gestures that complement or reinforce what we're saying, such as using hand movements to describe the size of an object. Understanding these distinctions can help you interpret nonverbal cues accurately. Consider a situation where a friend tells you a story about a recent vacation. If they use broad hand movements to illustrate being on a beach or the size of a delicious meal, their enthusiasm becomes palpable. Their gestures enhance your engagement by providing a visual representation of their experience. This alignment of verbal and nonverbal cues can significantly reinforce the message being conveyed. A fascinating study conducted by researchers at the University of California found that gestures can improve learning outcomes. When students used gestures to explain concepts, they were able to retain more information than those who relied solely on verbal communication. This illustrates how gestures can not only enhance communication but also facilitate understanding. However, it's also essential to recognize that gestures can vary widely between cultures. For example, in some Mediterranean cultures, hand gestures are a crucial part of conversation, while in other cultures, such expressiveness might be viewed as excessive. Knowing these differences can prevent miscommunication and strengthen bonds during interactions. Imagine being somewhere and using a gesture that is typical in your culture only to receive confusion from those around you. That's a prime example of how cultural awareness can prevent misunderstandings. In professional settings, being aware of gestures can greatly enhance your communication effectiveness. If you're presenting to an audience, using gestures can make your presentation more engaging. But knowing when to employ these gestures effectively is key. Too many gestures can be distracting, while too few can make you seem disengaged. Aim for a balance that underscores your message without overshadowing it. Another critical aspect of gestures is their ability to reveal hidden emotions. A nervous gesture, like fidgeting or playing with hair, can indicate anxiety, while confident open gestures may suggest enthusiasm or eagerness. By attuning to these subtle signals, you can not only gauge the emotional state of others but also adjust your responses accordingly. A useful practice in becoming adept in reading gestures is to observe conversations in various settings. Whether it's at a cafe, in a meeting, or even watching a video, take note of how people use gestures in their communication. With time, you'll begin to see patterns and can develop your ability to interpret these signals. In conclusion, gestures are a powerful extension of our verbal communication and can provide essential insights into emotional states and intentions. But what if you could also learn about the significance of the space we occupy and how it shapes our interactions? Could the concept of proxemics further unveil the art of body language? Proxemics, the study of personal space, plays a crucial role in our interactions. The distance we keep from others during conversations can significantly influence both our comfort and the dynamics of the interaction. Understanding proxemics can help facilitate better communication, build relationships, and avoid misunderstandings. Different cultures have unique norms regarding personal space. In Western cultures, we often maintain an arm's length distance during conversations. However, in many Latin American and Middle Eastern cultures, people tend to stand much closer to one another, often viewed as a sign of warmth and engagement. Understanding these norms is vital, especially in our increasingly interconnected world. Research indicates that invading someone's personal space can lead to discomfort and anxiety. A study conducted by the University of British Columbia found that maintaining appropriate personal space can promote positive interactions, while crowding can lead to increased tension and even hostility in conversations. This can be particularly relevant in professional settings. When meeting with someone, being mindful of their comfort level regarding personal space can set the stage for a more open dialogue. Consider a networking event where you approach someone to introduce yourself. Standing too close might make the other person feel threatened, while standing too far away may come across as disinterested. Striking the right balance is key. One technique is to observe the other person's posture and distance, then adjust your position to mirror theirs without encroaching on their personal bubble. This mirroring can create a sense of rapport and comfort. The concept of proxemics also extends into the realm of body orientation. How we angle our bodies towards someone can indicate our engagement level. If you're speaking to someone who's turned slightly away from you, it might be perceived as a sign of disinterest or disengagement. Conversely, if they are facing you squarely, it shows they are receptive and focused on the interaction. This awareness can dramatically improve the quality of your conversations. Also, consider the impact of group dynamics. In a meeting where some attendees are seated closer to the speaker while others are farther away, the physical distance could influence the contributions made during the discussion. Those closer to the speaker may feel more empowered to share their thoughts, while those further away might feel hesitant to participate. Understanding proxemics can help leaders create a more inclusive atmosphere where everyone feels encouraged to contribute. Another fascinating aspect of proxemics is the influence of environments on personal space. In crowded settings, like public transport, the lack of personal space might create stress. Being aware of how environments influence comfort levels can empower us to adapt our communication styles. When giving feedback in a confined space, adjusting your tone and body language can help ease any tension in the conversation. Ultimately, gaining insight into proxemics enhances your ability to connect with others. It's a subtle art that can yield significant rewards, particularly in professional and social scenarios. By approaching conversations with an understanding of personal space and orientation, you'll cultivate a more receptive environment for open communication. But what happens when we consider the combination of verbal and nonverbal cues? Might that lead to a holistic understanding of body language that transforms the way we connect with those around us? What if we told you that the eyes are not just the windows to the soul, but also the gateways to effective communication? Eye contact is a crucial element in body language that can significantly affect our interactions. Studies suggest that maintaining eye contact can increase trust and connection between individuals. In fact, a 2016 study published in the journal Psychological Science found that people who maintain eye contact during conversations are perceived as more trustworthy and attractive. But why does this happen? Let's dive deeper. Eye contact signals engagement. When you look someone in the eye, you are showing them that you're present in the moment, actively listening, and valuing their words. A fascinating case study involving former President Bill Clinton illustrates this point. During his speeches, he was known for his intense gaze that seemed to connect him with his audience personally. This ability to establish rapport through eye contact played a significant role in his communication style and political success. However, too much eye contact can be perceived as aggressive. The cultural context matters as well. In some cultures, direct eye contact is expected, while in others, it might be seen as disrespectful. For example, in Japan, prolonged eye contact can imply a challenge or confrontation. There's a delicate balance that needs to be understood. One fascinating aspect of eye contact is its effects on persuasion. Research shows that people are more likely to be influenced by someone who maintains eye contact while making a request. Imagine being in a negotiation. If you maintain confident eye contact while presenting your offers, your counterpart is more likely to feel compelled to agree with you. That's the power of the gaze. A simple look can win arguments. Consider also how you can improve your eye contact skills in daily interactions. Start by practicing in safe environments. Watch how others react when you maintain comfortable eye contact. Are they more engaged? Do they seem more responsive? As we explore this further, let's not forget the role of what happens when we look away. Breaking eye contact can signal discomfort, disinterest, or even deceit. This is particularly critical in situations like job interviews or sales pitches. Knowing when to break eye contact and how to do it can influence the outcome of a conversation tremendously. In conclusion, mastering the art of eye contact is about finding that sweet spot, engaging without overwhelming. As we move to the next chapter, keep in mind your eyes might just be your greatest tool. How will you adapt your gaze to enhance your communication? The answer lies ahead. Imagine a world where a simple touch could change the dynamics of relationships. Touch is one of the most powerful yet underrated forms of communication. It transcends words and can convey emotions more effectively than verbal language. Think about it, a comforting pat on the back, a firm handshake, or a gentle squeeze of the hand all communicate distinct messages. Research in the field of psychology highlights the significance of touch in building trust and rapport. A study published in the journal Science revealed that a gentle touch can activate emotional responses in the brain, increasing feelings of safety and connection. It is particularly crucial in establishing bonds. For example, in therapy sessions, the presence of a comforting touch can encourage clients to open up more easily. Consider the implications of this in your everyday life. In a workplace setting, a firm handshake can set the tone for professionalism and confidence. In contrast, a weak handshake may suggest insecurity. This subtlety can be the difference between landing a job and being overlooked. Further, touch plays a significant role in romantic relationships. Research indicates that couples who engage in regular physical touch report higher levels of satisfaction. This includes everything from holding hands to hugs. One study from the University of California found that when partners engage in frequent touch, their physical and emotional health improves as well. However, it is crucial to note that the appropriateness of touch varies by context and cultural norms. What is acceptable in one culture may be inappropriate in another. For instance, in many Latin American cultures, touch is a normal part of conversation, while in Eastern cultures, personal space is highly valued, thus making touch less common. To navigate these complexities, being aware of the signals others send is essential. Are they leaning in for a handshake or recoiling from your reach? Observing these cues can help you determine the right moment to engage physically, thus enhancing your communication. As we conclude this chapter, think critically about how you approach touch in your interactions. How can you utilize it to build trust and deepen connections? With these thoughts, let's transition to our next chapter, where we'll explore how body language changes in challenging conversations. Conflict is a part of our lives that we cannot escape. The way we communicate during these challenging situations often determines the outcome. Body language plays a crucial role in navigating conflicts. Imagine two colleagues arguing in a meeting. Their body language could escalate or de-escalate the situation. Research indicates that nonverbal cues can account for over 90% of communication during conflicts. This means how we stand, our facial expressions, and even our posture can send powerful messages, regardless of what we say. If someone crosses their arms, they may appear defensive, whereas open arms suggest willingness to engage. One notable case study is the negotiation between two rival companies. The negotiators were advised to adopt open postures and minimize hand gestures that could be perceived as threatening. This shift in body language led to a more collaborative environment, allowing both parties to find common ground. Another essential factor is mirroring, the subconscious act of mimicking another person's body language. When done effectively, this enhances rapport and can lead to more fruitful discussions. However, it's essential to mirror appropriately. Overly aggressive mirroring can backfire. Additionally, understanding when to use silence can also be a powerful tool in conflict resolution. Silence can convey thoughtfulness and encourage the other party to speak. A well-timed pause can shift the dynamics of the conversation, emphasizing the weight of your next words. It's also vital to recognize the body language of the other party. Are they relaxed or tense? Understanding their nonverbal signals can give you insights into their emotional state during the negotiation. For instance, if someone is fidgeting, they might feel anxious. Responding to their body language can show empathy and help alleviate tension. As you reflect on these strategies, consider how you interact in conflicting situations. Are you aware of the body language cues you and others display? With these insights, let's move on to our final chapter, where we will explore how to apply everything we've learned in practice. As we approach the final chapter, let's explore how to apply everything we've learned about body language in our everyday interactions. Becoming adept at reading and utilizing body language requires practice and mindfulness. It begins with self-awareness. Are you aware of the messages your body is sending? To start, you can engage in regular self-reflection. After conversations, think about your body positioning, facial expressions, and how these may have influenced the dialogue. This practice can help you identify patterns in your communication style and adjust accordingly. For instance, if you notice you often cross your arms in discussions, consider how this might be perceived. Does it signal defensiveness? Additionally, observing others can provide valuable insights. When you watch a conversation, take note of the body language cues displayed by both parties. Is one person leaning in while the other appears withdrawn? Notice how these signals affect the flow of communication. Incorporating these observations into your interactions will refine your skills over time. A practical exercise you can implement is pairing your verbal communication with intentional body language. For instance, while making a point, ensure your arms are open and your stance is inviting. This alignment reinforces your message and demonstrates confidence and approachability. Let's also discuss the importance of context. Different environments call for varying body language strategies. In a formal setting, a steady posture and minimal gestures may be required, while a casual gathering may invite more relaxed and expressive body language. Tailoring your approach to fit the situation will enhance your effectiveness. As you put these skills into practice, remember that change takes time. Be patient with yourself as you adapt your communication style. Celebrate small victories. Each time you successfully interpret a cue or adapt your body language to enhance communication is a step forward. With this newfound knowledge, how will you apply your body language skills to improve your relationships and interactions? The key to effective communication lies not just in what you say, but how you say it. As we wrap up, let's reflect on how these insights can transform not only your conversations but your entire approach to relationships. As we conclude this deep dive into body language, let's look ahead. The understanding of body language is continually evolving, especially with advancements in technology. Artificial intelligence and machine learning are beginning to analyze body language with unprecedented accuracy. For instance, companies are developing software that can interpret facial expressions to gauge emotions in real time. This technology has applications in various fields, from marketing to mental health. Imagine the implications for customer service, where AI could adjust its responses based on the client's emotional state, gauged through their body language. The future holds exciting possibilities for enhancing communication. Furthermore, the rise of virtual communication has transformed how we interpret body language. With video calls becoming the norm, nuances such as posture and gestures now translate through a screen. It's essential to adapt to these changes, understanding that body language can still play a crucial role, even when seen through a webcam. In a world that increasingly relies on digital communication, we must remain vigilant. Misinterpretations can easily occur without the physical cues we rely on in face-to-face interactions. Learning to read body language in virtual environments will be a critical skill moving forward. As we look ahead, the importance of emotional intelligence in reading body language becomes ever more paramount. Employers are increasingly valuing emotional intelligence as a vital skill, recognizing that individuals who can understand and navigate the complexities of human emotion will excel in the workplace. Finally, education about body language should extend beyond academia. Workshops, resources, and coaching can empower individuals to harness the power of nonverbal cues effectively. By investing in these skills, we can foster deeper connections in our personal and professional lives. In conclusion, the future of understanding body language is rich with opportunities. As we wrap up, ask yourself, how will you embrace these insights to elevate your communication skills? The journey of mastering body language is ongoing, and as you continue to learn, remember that every small step makes a significant impact in creating meaningful connections. With these final thoughts, bid farewell to our exploration. May your newfound knowledge guide you in every encounter. Understanding body language isn't just a universal endeavor, it's deeply influenced by cultural contexts. What might be deemed a positive gesture in one culture could be offensive in another. For instance, consider the thumbs-up gesture, commonly understood as a sign of approval in many Western cultures. However, in parts of the Middle East and West Africa, it is considered highly offensive. Different cultures have unique interpretations of personal space, eye contact, and gestures. In Japan, for example, maintaining a lower position is a sign of respect, while in the United States, direct eye contact is associated with confidence and sincerity. A pivotal case in understanding these differences is the 2006 incident involving the former President of the United States, George W. Bush. During a visit to Japan, he infamously misinterpreted the Japanese custom of bowing, leading to a diplomatic faux pas. His attempt to blend American assertiveness with Japanese respect led to a confusing scene that highlighted the importance of cultural understanding in body language. Many misunderstandings in international business and personal relationships stem from these cultural nuances. For example, business professionals who fail to recognize the importance of indirect communication in Asian cultures might struggle in negotiations, missing out on subtle cues signaling agreement or disagreement. One illustrative story involves an American manager who visited a partnering company in China. He was eager to show confidence and assertiveness, so he maintained direct eye contact and spoke loudly during meetings. However, his Chinese counterparts interpreted this as aggressive and disrespectful. It wasn't until a cultural liaison explained the nuances of Chinese communication that the American learned to adjust his behavior, allowing him to foster stronger relationships. Research has shown that understanding these cultural differences can lead to improved interpersonal communication. According to a study published in the Journal of Nonverbal Behavior, individuals who are aware of cultural differences in body language achieve more favorable outcomes in negotiations. This is particularly important in today's globalized world, where collaboration across cultures is commonplace. In essence, understanding body language across cultures is not merely an academic exercise, it is a vital skill. Whether you're negotiating with overseas partners or interacting with colleagues from diverse backgrounds, recognizing and respecting cultural differences in body language can lead to more fruitful interactions. As we move forward, we need to recognize that body language is not static, it's a dynamic tapestry woven by cultural threads that require sensitivity and awareness. How can we, then, equip ourselves to navigate this complex landscape? Stay tuned for the next chapter as we explore the science of deception in body language. Deception is a subject long intertwined with body language, acting as both an art and a science. Understanding how our bodies reveal the truth, or conceal it, can provide critical insight into human behavior. Research indicates that nonverbal cues often betray a person's attempts to lie. For instance, during a lie, a person might exhibit microexpressions, fleeting facial expressions that reveal true emotions before they're masked by a fabricated expression. Dr. Paul Ekman, a psychologist known for his work on emotions and facial expressions, famously identified these microexpressions. His research showed that these brief flashes can occur in just a fraction of a second, often revealing feelings of guilt, fear, or anxiety. Consider a real-world application of this knowledge in law enforcement. In a study published in the journal Law and Human Behavior, detectives who were trained to recognize these microexpressions were significantly better at detecting lies during interrogations than those who relied solely on verbal communication. For instance, during an investigation into a robbery, a suspect's fleeting grimace of fear was caught on video, suggesting he was withholding information, despite claiming innocence. But it's not just detectives who can benefit from understanding the art of deception in body language, everyday interactions also play a role. In a business context, being able to identify when a colleague is not telling the whole truth can be crucial. For example, during a corporate meeting, an employee may claim they have completed a project on time, but a twitch of the eye or a nervous shift in posture may suggest otherwise. Research indicates that people often underestimate the power of these subtle signals. According to a study published in the Journal of Applied Psychology, individuals can detect deception with up to 75% accuracy when using body language cues. One particularly powerful case occurred during a televised debate in 2008. As candidates exchanged criticisms, viewers noticed how one candidate's body language, particularly his crossed arms and lack of eye contact, suggested defensiveness. This nonverbal communication contrasted sharply with another candidate, who maintained an open posture and used hand gestures to emphasize sincerity. Pollsters later indicated that viewers perceived the candidate with the open posture as more trustworthy, proof that body language can significantly impact how we are perceived in high-stakes situations. Interestingly, the science of deception in body language also leads to a deeper understanding of self-regulation. As we become aware of our own bodily responses when lying or hiding the truth, we can develop greater emotional intelligence. We can learn to manage our own nonverbal cues to convey honesty and confidence, enhancing our personal and professional relationships. In conclusion, the study of deception in body language exposes a fascinating interplay between nonverbal signals and trust. As we learn to read and respond to these cues, we become not only more attuned to others but also to ourselves. But what happens when body language becomes a tool for manipulation? Stay tuned for the next chapter where we discuss the ethics of body language in persuasion and influence. Persuasion is a fundamental aspect of human interaction, and body language plays a pivotal role in how we influence others. However, the ethical implications of using body language as a tool for persuasion are significant and warrant careful consideration. Manipulating body language to persuade others can lead to ethical dilemmas, especially when the intent is to deceive or coerce. This chapter explores the fine line between effective communication and manipulation. To understand the ethical landscape, let's consider the case of marketing and advertising. Companies often employ skilled communicators who understand body language to create persuasive campaigns. These professionals know how to utilize nonverbal cues to evoke feelings of trust, excitement, or urgency. For instance, a friendly smile in an advertisement can foster a connection, while confident body posture can make a product seem more appealing. However, what happens when this expertise crosses into manipulation? A notable example is the infamous Fire Festival, which was marketed as a luxury music festival in a tropical paradise but turned out to be a disaster. Influencers and marketers utilized body language and nonverbal cues in promotional materials that created an illusion of exclusivity and glamour. Many attendees felt misled when they arrived and found not luxury, but chaos. This incident raises questions about the ethical responsibilities of communicators in the realm of body language. When does persuasion become deception? Moreover, in personal relationships, the ethics of body language can also be examined. Can we ethically use nonverbal communication to influence our partners? For instance, a partner might adopt a more open posture or engage in active listening to appear more empathetic during a disagreement. While this can facilitate better communication, it might lead to questions of authenticity. Are they genuinely understanding, or merely adopting body language techniques to win an argument? Research suggests that the ethical use of body language hinges on intention. A study in the Journal of Applied Social Psychology found that individuals who use body language to foster genuine connection are generally perceived more positively than those who use it to manipulate. For example, a manager who practices open body language to encourage team collaboration fosters a positive environment, while the same manager employing deceptive cues to instill fear or compliance undermines trust. In practice, cultivating an ethical approach to body language requires self-awareness and a commitment to transparency. By being genuine in our nonverbal communication, we not only enhance our interactions but also promote a culture of honesty and trust. As we wrap up this exploration of the ethics of body language and persuasion, we must ask ourselves, how can we communicate effectively without compromising our values? The next chapter will take a deeper dive into real-world applications of these principles, equipping you with tools to navigate the complexities of interpersonal communication ethically. In the realm of professional communication, body language plays a pivotal role. Have you ever walked into a meeting and instantly sensed tension in the room? Or perhaps you've been in a job interview and noticed subtle shifts in your interviewer's posture that indicated their reception of your answers? Understanding these nonverbal cues can make all the difference in professional environments. Studies suggest that up to 93% of communication is nonverbal, meaning that the way we present ourselves often speaks louder than the words we choose. Let's explore how to read body language effectively in professional settings. First up, let's discuss the importance of posture. When you enter a space, your posture communicates your confidence or lack thereof. A study conducted by researchers at the University of Oregon found that individuals who adopt a confident posture, with shoulders back and head held high, are perceived more positively by peers and supervisors. Conversely, slouched shoulders and a bowed head can emit signals of insecurity, resulting in a favorable reception. Understanding how to modify your posture in line with the image you wish to project can help you navigate the corporate landscape more effectively. Next, let's look at gestures. In a presentation or meeting, strategic gestures can enhance your message. Did you know that using open hand gestures can promote trust and receptiveness? In contrast, closed gestures, like crossing your arms, may suggest defensiveness or disinterest. The infamous TED speaker Amy Cuddy showcases this principle beautifully. Her power posing technique encourages individuals to adopt body language that promotes confidence before a presentation. This not only affects how others perceive you but can also alter your self-perception, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of confidence. Another critical aspect of body language in professional settings is eye contact. According to a survey by the National Association of Colleges and Employers, eye contact can drastically influence hiring decisions, with 67% of employers noting that it's a key factor when assessing candidates. But it's not just about maintaining eye contact, it's about the quality of that contact. Too little may come off as evasive, while too much can feel intimidating. A balanced approach, sustained yet comfortable eye contact, can create a rapport that enhances your communication. Let's also discuss the role of mirroring in building connections. This subtle mimicry can establish rapport and make your conversation partner feel at ease. A study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that individuals who mirrored each other's body language were perceived as more likable. However, it's crucial to ensure that your mirroring is natural and not forced. Robotic mimicry can have the opposite effect, leading to discomfort. Finally, let's touch on the significance of cultural considerations in professional body language. Different cultures have diverse interpretations of nonverbal cues. For instance, in some Asian cultures, maintaining a lower posture or avoiding direct eye contact is a sign of respect, while in Western cultures, it may be viewed as disinterest or dishonesty. Understanding these cultural differences can be pivotal when interacting with international colleagues or clients. As we conclude this chapter, remember that being attuned to body language in professional settings can enhance your ability to connect and communicate effectively. But this skill takes practice and observation. In our next chapter, we'll dive deeper into the nuances of body language in romantic relationships and how nonverbal cues can either strengthen or undermine emotional connections. As we navigate an increasingly digital world, understanding body language transcends beyond face-to-face interactions. Today, we explore how body language manifests in digital communication, from video calls to social media interactions. With the rise of remote work and virtual collaboration, being able to interpret subtle cues in a digital format is more crucial than ever. One of the most significant aspects of body language in video calls is the notion of presence. A study by the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, found that individuals involved in video conferencing need to pay close attention to their body language since the absence of physical presence can create a sense of disconnection. Maintaining an upright posture during Zoom calls, for example, can enhance your perceived engagement level. Moreover, how you position your camera can also convey messages. A low angle can give an impression of dominance, while a high angle may seem submissive. Beyond posture, let's discuss gestures on digital platforms. Although we cannot physically interact, the use of hand movement still translates. Have you noticed how some speakers, even on video, still incorporate hand gestures in their presentations? This isn't mere theatrics. Research from the Journal of Communication found that speakers who used hand gestures were more persuasive than those who didn't, even in a flat-screen format. It captivates the audience's attention and emphasizes key points. Facial expressions remain another critical element in digital communication. The screen can sometimes distort emotions. Think of how a smile can seem less genuine through a screen. According to a recent study from the Harvard Business Review, maintaining an expression of attentiveness, through nodding and maintaining eye contact, can create a more profound connection. Treating a video call as you would an in-person meeting can positively affect interpersonal relationships. Now, let's shift gears to social media. Here, body language is much less about physical cues and more about how we present ourselves through images and videos. For instance, a study published in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that photos portraying open body language, such as having arms uncrossed and a smile, are often perceived as more approachable and friendly. This highlights a critical facet of body language in the digital domain. The imagery we curate can lead to real-world perceptions. However, we must discuss the implications of misinterpretations in digital communications. Without the ability to read body language directly, it's easy for messages to be misconstrued. A simple text lacking emojis or context can come off as rude or cold. Being mindful of our tone and how our messages may be perceived is essential in mitigating misunderstandings. As we wrap up this chapter, remember that body language in digital formats isn't as straightforward as it may seem. Being aware of how posture, gestures, and even the content of our images affect communication in a digital space can enhance our online interactions significantly. But this leads us into our next chapter, where we'll discuss how body language impacts our personal relationships and romantic bonds. Parenting is one of the most important yet challenging jobs one can take on. Understanding body language within the parent-child relationship can significantly influence emotional and social development. Research shows that children are incredibly perceptive to nonverbal cues, often absorbing feelings and attitudes before they can articulate them with words. The early years of development are crucial. Infants begin to read body language as soon as they are born, responding to facial expressions and gestures. According to a study by the University of California, Berkeley, infants as young as 6 months can differentiate between happy and angry faces, demonstrating their innate ability to read emotions. In fact, infants react positively to caregivers who exhibit open body language. Think about how a parent's wide smile and open arms invite a child to explore. As children grow, the role of body language evolves. For toddlers and preschoolers, physical affection becomes a vital form of communication. Hugs and gentle touches not only convey love but also help develop secure attachments. A study from the University of Minnesota found that children who receive consistent physical affection tend to have higher self-esteem and social competence. But understanding body language goes beyond affection. It extends into how we correct or guide behavior. For instance, if a child misbehaves, a stern face or a firm posture can convey authority and seriousness. Yet, it's important to balance this with warmth. A caring tone or a gentle touch can reassure the child that, while their behavior is unacceptable, they themselves are still loved. Teenagers present a unique challenge. By this stage, they often become more attuned to the nuances of body language as peer relationships begin to take precedence. This is where the parent's ability to interpret nonverbal cues becomes vital. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Adolescent Health suggested that parents who engage in active listening, indicating understanding through nods, open gestures, and face-to-face interactions, can foster more open communication with their teens. A parent's ability to read their teens' nonverbal signals can help identify issues before they escalate, creating a safe space for dialogue. Moreover, nonverbal communication can play a crucial role during times of stress or conflict. Whether it's exam pressure or social struggles, teenagers may unintentionally display signs of anxiety through clenched fists, avoidance of eye contact, or even a fidgeting body. Here, a supportive parent can catch these signals and offer reassurance, demonstrating through both words and body language that they're there to help. As we conclude this chapter, remember that the ability to read and respond to body language in parenting isn't just about communication, it's about building a foundation for emotional health and resilience. The next chapter will explore the potential pitfalls and misunderstandings that can arise from misreading body language, leading us to a deeper understanding of the complexities of human interactions. Imagine walking into a crowded room filled with singles, each individual radiating their own unique energy. The air is thick with unspoken words, and you can feel the nervous energy as potential connections are made through subtle cues. In the realm of dating and relationships, body language plays a pivotal role, often dictating the success or failure of romantic interactions. In fact, studies show that nearly 93% of communication is nonverbal, making it crucial to read and respond to these cues effectively. When you notice someone leaning in while talking to you, it signifies interest and engagement. However, crossed arms or shifting away can indicate discomfort or disinterest. Throughout history, courtship rituals have showcased the significant role of body language. Take the famous courtship dances of the 18th century. These highly stylized moves were not just about rhythm but also communicated attraction and intent. The nuances of body language in dating extend beyond initial interactions. They have implications throughout relationships. A simple touch on the arm during a conversation can strengthen bonds and convey deep affection. One study by Dr. Barbara Fredrickson highlights how positive interactions can enhance relationship satisfaction and emotional connection. Yet, misunderstandings can easily arise. For instance, when someone fails to notice a partner's subtle cues of withdrawal, it can lead to bigger conflicts down the line. The key is attunement, being aware of and responsive to a partner's nonverbal signals. Adaptive techniques can help navigate this complex landscape, such as mirroring. Subtly mimicking a partner's gestures can create rapport and enhance intimacy. In essence, mastering body language in dating involves both an understanding of your own nonverbal signals and those of your partner. The journey of connection is twofold. It requires you to both send and receive these signals effectively. As we dive deeper into the layers of body language in relationships, consider this: how often do we misinterpret our partner's signals? Could understanding body language lead to fewer misunderstandings? This chapter will unravel the intricate web of messages conveyed through body language in the context of love and partnership, exploring how we can enhance our relationships through deeper understanding. Leadership is more than just a title, it's about influence, trust, and connection. And while many focus on verbal rhetoric as the cornerstone of effective leadership, the power of body language is often overlooked. Strong leaders leverage their nonverbal cues to inspire and motivate their teams. According to a study by the University of California, Berkeley, leaders who exhibit positive body language are perceived as more credible and trustworthy. Imagine a CEO standing before a room of employees, expressing enthusiasm with open arms and a confident stance. That confidence radiates assurance and encourages others to follow suit. In contrast, a leader who constantly shifts, avoids eye contact, or uses closed gestures may instill doubt and disengagement among their team members. The gap between intention and perception in leadership can be bridged by understanding body language. A notable case is that of Oprah Winfrey, who famously uses open palms and strong eye contact to connect with her audience. Leaders like her not only command attention but also create an atmosphere of inclusivity and encouragement. However, it's not solely about individual traits or styles. Cultural context plays a significant role. For instance, what is accepted as confident in one culture may be seen as aggressive in another. In a globalized world, leaders must be aware of these nuances to foster effective communication. The impact of body language extends beyond the outset of a meeting. It influences negotiations and conflict resolution too. Successful negotiators often use body language strategically, mirroring their counterparts to build rapport and reduce tensions. Consider the famous example of Nelson Mandela during the post-apartheid negotiations in South Africa. Despite the tension, he employed calm gestures and composed body language to foster trust and cooperation among parties with long-standing conflicts. This chapter will explore the characteristics of effective body language in leadership and provide practical strategies for aspiring leaders to enhance their influence through nonverbal communication. How can we harness the power of body language to become more effective leaders ourselves? And what lessons can we learn from the great leaders of our time? Let's delve into the transformative role that body language plays in the landscape of leadership. Our bodies tell stories beyond the words we speak, and in the context of mental health, these stories can be both revealing and transformative. Nonverbal communication plays a crucial role in how individuals express their mental states and affects how they are perceived by others. Research from Harvard University shows that body language can significantly influence emotional well-being, impacting everything from anxiety to self-esteem. For example, someone experiencing anxiety may exhibit fidgeting, avoidance of eye contact, or tense posture. These signs, often misread as disinterest or rudeness, can be indicators of deeper struggles. Understanding these signals can foster empathy and create a safe space for dialogue. One notable case is the work of Brené Brown, who emphasizes vulnerability in her research on shame and belonging. She encourages acknowledging our physical postures, stating, "We cannot selectively numb emotions. When we numb the painful emotions, we also numb the positive ones." Body language becomes a powerful tool in therapy settings, where therapists are trained to not only recognize but also respond to clients' nonverbal cues. By creating an environment that is physically and emotionally safe, therapists can encourage healing and openness. The correlation between body language and mental health extends into everyday interactions, emphasizing the importance of supportive relationships. For instance, small gestures of kindness like a reassuring touch can alleviate feelings of isolation and anxiety. In workplaces, companies that prioritize mental health have begun educating employees on recognizing body signals, fostering a culture of awareness and support. This chapter will explore the intricate link between body language and mental health, uncovering how we can become more attuned to ourselves and others. How can our understanding of body language empower us to create stronger connections? And in what ways can we reshape the narrative around mental health and support? Join us as we dive into the healing potential of body language in the context of mental well-being. In times of crisis, whether it's a natural disaster, a corporate emergency, or even a personal crisis, the language of the body speaks volumes. When words may fail or emotions run high, our nonverbal signals often provide the most honest representation of our feelings and intentions. For instance, imagine a firefighter navigating through a chaotic scene. Their posture, firm, shoulders back, instills confidence in their team while signaling readiness to act. Studies show that in high-stress environments, body language becomes a primary mode of communication. A 2017 study by the University of Colorado found that effective leaders in crisis situations often demonstrated open body language, which led to increased team cohesion and loyalty during tough times. Similarly, in a corporate crisis, such as a public relations disaster, the way a leader presents themselves physically can greatly affect employee morale and public perception. Consider the example of a CEO addressing employees regarding a significant company layoff. If they appear closed off, arms crossed, avoiding eye contact, this can breed distrust among employees, leading to a toxic environment. In contrast, those who maintain eye contact, keep their arms uncrossed, and use deliberate gestures can convey empathy and authority, ultimately aiding in crisis management. During moments like these, the ability to read body language can be a game-changer, enabling individuals to respond to unspoken needs and emotions effectively. Body language isn't just an art, it's a strategic tool in high-stakes moments. What else does body language reveal in such tumultuous times? It tells the story of unspoken fears, shared burdens, and the primal instincts that arise when the stakes are high. This chapter will delve deeper into specific case studies where body language significantly influenced the outcome of crises, offering insights into how we can all hone our skills